Hey Tribe, hey, happy Tuesday. Finished my second workout of the day, consecutive, hashtag consecutive, my favorite. Anyway, let's see what I'm thinking about, thinking about stuff that's none of my business. I just walked past some new section of the Riverwalk that they have going up, and I was thinking about that conversation I had the other day with the older of the young two men I spoke to, and he was relaying a story about how when this whole area was being put up 30 years ago, he was out campaigning and everything, trying to warn people that when this happens, they're going to lose their homes, everything's going to change, they're going to be like all of these things like that. And so when they had the ceremony, which this young man witnessed, he saw that man behind the stage weeping at what happened. And I listened to the story, and this is where hashtag know yourself gets tricky, because it can definitely appear callous. At the same time, when you're free from all of that and you understand where you stand, it's actually joy. It's joy to know yourself. It's joy to know what you're supposed to be doing. It's joy to be in your own energy. It's just pure joy. It's joy that you're no longer participating in stuff that's none of your business. And it's like, but, people lost their homes, this and that. It's like, that's why you need a Virgo in your life. If you don't rock with Virgos, I'm with you. I don't rock with Virgos in either anymore. I'm a Virgo, yes. However, reach over to Sister Myra, and she'll explain to you how all of us are all of the energies, not just the sun sign that a person chooses to identify with. So anyway, when you get that for yourself, it's actually being free. And as you come to where you're knowing yourself is more important than anything else, then you get it. However, when you get it, it's going to mean nothing to anyone except for you. And that's how it's supposed to be. It just means something to you. It's just for you to understand and be where you're supposed to be in your life, and not be where someone else is, and not be caught up in someone else's stuff, no matter how much it pulls on your heartstrings. And let's see, I'm learning to walk that way myself. It is challenging, because it's like the things that come up where I can just say, whatever, it's not my business, The harder things are the things that come up, and they are what I think is my business. And it's not. My family's not my business. The world's not my business. Like, nothing that I was socialized to believe is my business. And I was thinking about that today. It's like, that is so hard to take in. It almost feels wrong. And then Hashtag Virgo. That's where I enjoy peeling back those layers. That's why I enjoy, like I said, that's why I enjoy Chief Pontiac and the young elder. And even when Chief Pontiac is talking to the young elder, he'll he'll say specifically, it's not about what you're thinking it's about. Like, release yourself from all of that. And young elder continue to run down the street. No, this is what I'm saying. It's just like, and he never rebukes him or nothing. All he does is just say what is, which is his message. Oh, I found some shade. I didn't think these things gave you shade. Woo. Babe. Thank goodness. Got some shade. Anyway, so I don't have to worry on this side about alligators, boa constrictors, some wild squirrels. You all let me know if they pop up. So anyway, he's talking, he's sharing, and he'll say that he's like, I'm just sharing my message. Oh yeah, I left an open-ended statement because I couldn't remember what Chief Pontiac said, and he was saying he calls her Big Mama, Big Mama, Big Mama, and so when he's talking about his tribe, and he's like, I'm just talking about my tribe. And people will come and they'll try to debate him. I've seen him on different YouTubes where he's either one of another person, 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people. I even tried to listen to him on one show because I had a long walk that day. I was doing 9 miles. And I like to just like get in my zone. And so I can put something on, and that was like 4 hours. And so it was hard to listen to because the way the host wasn't putting people on. And when I'm saying wasn't, from what I observed, the people were not on mute. So for me, when I think about the people not being on mute, what I understand is that the person who started the Zoom or the stream or whatever has ultimate control over muting everyone and allowing them in and out. And so the mute situation was a whole situation in itself, because as the things that were said started hitting my observation, people's buttons, then they start talking, and then people start talking over each other, and it was a whole big thing. And you know, people were getting upset and just different things like that, because at each point there's a point that anyone can get upset. There's a point that anyone can say, you don't have compassion for my situation. You don't have sympathy for my situation. You don't have empathy for my situation. That's why when I talk to you all, I'm sharing with you all about the APA, the American Psychological Association. Now, the American Psychological Association is on the DSM-5-TR translation. Somebody look that up for me and put it in the comments for the correct, if it's TR or whatever. I think it's transcribe TR, but just chat GPT and put it in there. Or you all look it up for yourself, because, you know, it's things that I'm going to say, and they might not be exactly correct. However, I've given you enough information so that if that's your journey, then you can search it out. If not, just scratch it. So from what I see, here's what I see. I see all these controls put in place and they keep us in place if you want to be kept. It's like your parents and your family. That's like your parents, your mother and father. If you have them, or if you don't have them, or if you have them and you lost them, or you have them and they gave you away, all that's like heart-wrenching, and those people travel around the world, and they're sad about it, happy about it, glad about it, mad about it, indifferent about it. They lie to themselves about it, whichever one. However, the Bible has written about it. I don't know the other ones, the Torah, the Quran, all those other kind of things. I don't know those. Somebody has to jump on there. I grew up, the family I was with was the Bible. So, I don't know. I learned that stuff because I was there. And then once I didn't need it anymore, then I set it down. I use it because the people that I come in contact with, some of them are Christians, and I just have no problem speaking their language. To me, it's just like if I speak English and a Spanish person comes up to me, I'm going to speak Spanish. I'm not going to keep speaking English when I find out they don't speak English. I'm going to speak Spanish. Big deal. It's no heavier weight than that. French, Spanish, whatever language. So it says, honor your mother and father, your days belong in the land. Like just picture these as like your arms are around your shoulders, and picture it as a rope. I got something even better. I know I'm obsessed with the boa constrictor. So when the boa constrictor comes, it wraps its coils around you. So let's use that. The first coil is family. The second coil, when you outside of your family, where you first come in contact, is your church. And then school. And then your like your neighbors, your society, all those things like that on one coil. And then you basically go between those 4 or 5 things. You're not doing something because of your family. You are doing something because of your family. You aren't doing something because the Bible says for you not to. You are doing something because the Bible says for you to, and so on and so on. And what I started noticing in the church community, because I enjoy listening to Larry Reed and Sir Williams, people like that. And then I think it's another one. What's his name? It begins with a T. I hate that I forgot his name. Tyrese. The Tyrese Report. And so these 2 people, Larry Reed first, where I noticed it first, and Tyrese, they started talking about church brain and stuff like that. So basically what you have is different people who are saying, yes, I believe in the Bible. However, the Bible didn't believe this. And then they start teaching you and showing you how, well, Larry does, how, this part about homosexuals were put in the Bible at this time. It had nothing to do with this, nothing to do with that. Then he tells you about how this alphabet didn't even exist, how this person was supposedly a homosexual, was responsible for the Bible. Like, they just go on and on and on and on. So anyway, it just depending on you just trying to be yourself. I just want to take a minute and be myself. I just want to take a minute and see what's happening. Then it's like, oh, you're selfish. Or then it's like the other manipulation. Oh, well, when such and such, you needed help, I helped you, and now I'm asking for help and you can't help me. So that's the blackmail, emotional manipulation. So things like that. And so, like I said, you just bounce between each one of those. Boing, 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 boing. Even when you step away, it's like that heaviness, that feeling, that obligation, that shouldn't I or should I, is it right or is it wrong or whatever. Then when you get through that, it's like when you're trying to explain yourself and say, hey, I realized that what I was doing wasn't right. So I stopped doing it. Well, you benefited from doing it. Yes. Thank you. Asami-san. Whatever the Karate Kid's name is. I did. Thank you for pointing that out. You get a gold star. At the same time, I'm not doing what's wrong for me. And I'm like, the real question is are you telling me that when I notice something is not good or right for me, and when I say right or wrong, I'm meaning for myself, it's something I don't want to do. I just don't want to do it. It's not right for me. I don't have to say it's right for you. If it's right for you, it's right for you. If it's wrong for me, it's wrong for me. It doesn't matter. If something is right for you, I still can't do it. I don't want to do it. And I don't care if you say it's right for you. Go live your right life for yourself. It's just, yeah. It's like the more that all I want to do is understand myself. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Understand myself. There's only one person in my life who I give space to, and that's my husband. I'll entertain stuff with him. Anyone else, I don't. I don't. Because I'm too busy. I got to understand myself. Like, this is real. I got to understand myself. And I went through all that. I went through all the trying to understand everyone else or everything else, or trying to say I'm sorry, or trying to be like, count all my sins and things I did and said to people and stuff I hurt people, or apologizing for when I went right to turn left. And then I realized that all that stuff's just a distraction. It's keeping me from the main thing, which is myself. Think about it. As I understand myself, I don't care that someone hurt me. It seems ludicrous now. All the hours and 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 hours. Okay, I'll stop. That's how ridiculous it was. This is what happened when I was growing up. This is what happened when someone said, you know how much I don't care? I don't care. Because the more I just see myself, it's laughable. It's like I was bothered by someone hurting me that didn't know themselves. Like, I don't know myself. Just call me a hypocrite. Just call me a hypocrite. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Incongruent in the eyes of the beholder. So it's like, as I started to understand that and see that, it not only freed me, it freed the people I had held captive. I was listening to Uncle Hank and Sister Myra's broadcast from yesterday, and he was talking about forgiveness. Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Larry Reed and Carlton Pearson and forgiveness. So when I was listening to Sister Myra, here, I'll let you all look at the sun. Look at the water while I'm talking. You don't need to look at my face. So I was listening to Uncle Hank and Sister Myra. They were talking on YouTube. And he mentioned something about forgiveness. And then he mentioned something about somebody who died of cancer or got cancer, did something, and forgiveness is connected. And see, this is what I'm sharing with you all. Peel back the layers. Peel back the layers. Instead of being irritated and bothered or whatever, ask yourself, why does that bother you? Why does that irritate you? Why is that even coming up as something that you should even respond to, think about whatever, whatever, whatever. Because I'm telling you, these things are when you start seeking yourself. It's yourself telling you, hey, take a closer look. Not at that part. I mean, who cares who feels like because they had unforgiveness in their heart, they died of a heart. That's just what another person thinks happens. Not one person knows what happened. Not one. Not one person knows. So that's the peel back the layer thing for me. It's like, wait, who told you that? How do you know that? What? Who said that? Why do you say that? What happened in your life that you would say that? So, real time. Here's why it's to make it make sense for me. Now, from what I understand, I'm bringing you all back in. What I understand from Carlton Pearson's journey, from what I've listened to, I've watched his TV show that was made supposedly based off his life. I've listened to him while he was still alive and things that he said on his podcast. I watched him on YouTube. I didn't follow him on this podcast. And so basically, here's in a nutshell for you to go chase down yourself. So basically, Carlton Pearson had what he calls a spiritual experience that led him to say what he was reading in the King James Bible: there's no hell, and no one's going to hell. Now, Carlton Pearson was connected to Oral Roberts and all them. And he got kicked out, basically. This is just my what do you call it? I'm just telling it how I'm thinking that it is from what's out there in the public. He no longer was affiliated and associated with the church and everything, Oral Roberts and all that, things like that. Whether he left or whether he was asked to leave and stuff like that, I can't say for sure. So my disclaimer is on all the people involved: Carlton Pearson's estate, Oral Roberts, in university, school, church, people in any form. Disclaimer: I'm just reporting the news. This is for entertainment purposes only. So anyway, basically he went on to went through some trials and tribulations before he got himself started back up. From what I understand, there's a woman bishop that wasn't even allowed to, from what Larry Reed said, wasn't even allowed to either be in the service with Carlton Pearson or be up on the diocese, or I think that's what you call it, the pulpit, because she was a lesbian. She's a bishop. However, she's not a bishop of what those people say are Christian church. So she couldn't be up there. Didn't matter that she was thick as thieves with Carlton Pearson, that Carlton Pearson loved her. It's like she wasn't allowed to, and his family didn't allow her to, from what I understand. Now, you all know I don't mind talking, so if someone has some different information about it, let's talk about it, let's share about it, because the most important thing is what I'm trying to share is that Carlton Pearson said that what he called God, or what he said was God, or what he said his spirit was, told him to disassociate himself with that kind of teaching about hell. This is where Larry Reed comes in. Larry Reed has said on his YouTubes that basically that church, those people who rejected him, were the cause of his pancreatic cancer and the cause of his death. Yep. And I'm like, okay, all right. If you're in that place, then that was the cause of his death. For me, I just got a couple of questions. Let me ask. If God told you to do something, why is you concerned about those people who you used to be associated with ostracizing you? All these other things. Why? That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. I'm telling you, man, when I believed in God and all that stuff, I forsook everything. I followed my belief in God. And I'm just saying, no judgment, no nothing. I'm just observing. I'm just like, if God really told you to do something, then why do you care? Why do you care enough to give yourself cancer? That's even worse. So God told me to do something. And because I lost some people who were my friends, because they didn't hear the voice that I hear God tell about hell, I'm going to now basically off myself. In the most painful way, pancreatic cancer. Please, make it make sense. Make it make sense. See? That's why I'm glad I shared with my daughters. My daughters, of course, I shared in an unhealthy manner. And my therapist from back in the day shared with me, you don't share that way with your kids. You do not tell your kids straight no chaser truth for any reason. They're not old enough, they're not able enough to handle it. At the same time, now that they are able to handle it, I'm telling you, I'm doing the skip to the loo over here about my kids. I'm so proud of my kids. I'm so proud of my 3 girls, because they know. Like, they know. Like, they got it. My 3 girls got it. They got it. And if you all look, my middle daughter's YouTube is one of the highest viewed. Watch. I'm just saying, because the things I've been telling each of my girls since they were 18 years old, I just told them the unadulterated truth about myself, so that they wouldn't think it was them. It's not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault. That was my message. Now that I understand things more, I'm even glad, because we have that separation from each other, and they can think for themselves, and they do. I love my kids. They think for themselves. And then once my grandkids came, oh, baby, those grandkids don't hold nothing back. And I'm telling you, if I still did the holy dance stuff, I would be shouting and jumping, because that's what that was for. When I first started my journey, it was because I wanted to fit into my family. My interpretation of what my family was saying was I was the problem. So I set along my lonely journey to not become the problem, to not be the problem anymore, so I could fit in my family. And the joke was, when I started coming back around my family, the joke was, I'm looking at my family and saying, what the is wrong with you people? You all are acting wrong. You all are doing stuff that you said I was doing, and it's not okay. You all are talking in ways that are not okay. And they're looking at me like, what are you? It was just a bunch of confusion. I wasn't supposed to do anything with that energy except for start on my own journey. That's it. Start on the journey of myself. Start on the journey of yourself. That's my message. That's my thing that I like to share. I'm telling you, when the most worst thing happens that you can blame externally, that is yourself telling yourself with the loudest symbol, start working on yourself. Start your journey. So I'm just not rocking with Dr. Reed when he's saying that, Bishop Pearson died of a broken heart for those people. It makes me laugh. Do you know how happy I am to be on my own journey? I am ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. Yeah, I felt some kind of ways in different ways. And I just reminded myself where those feelings and emotions come from. They come from because I've been socialized to think that way. I've been socialized to think that my family cares. I've been socialized to think that people care. I've been socialized to think that I could do something or say something to hurt a person's feeling. I've been socialized to think if I do right or wrong, that caused that car wreck or didn't cause that car wreck, or it can cause a child to get leukemia or not. None of those things are true. Prove it to me. Well, you can't prove it to me because I'm not going to listen. However, live by what your truth is. If that's your truth, then live your truth. Your truth isn't for anyone else but for you. If you believe that going to church and getting on your knees and scrubbing your knees out in prayer change why your big mama or papa didn't die of cancer, then run with it. Run with it. You know what I run with? Is that papa, big mama, the baby, whatever, it wasn't in their own journey to transition that way. That they decided, they're their creators, that they're here for their own reason. And their life is for their own reason. And it has nothing to do with you. And Carlton Pearson, come on, man. I mean, I feel like Dr. Reed is slandering Carlton Pearson's name when he says that. Because it's like all the faith. I mean, like my kids. My kids know what to do. My kids know what to do. And they're doing it. And if someone comes to them and tells them some crazy stuff, they're going to be like, my mama, no, ma'am, no. My mama just wants to be thrown in the ocean, and she wants us to go run this 5K. She wants us to go enjoy ourselves and whatever. They wouldn't be like, oh no, my mom wants a big funeral and lament and this and that. If my kids knew anything about me, they would say it. No, that's not my. What was my mom doing before she passed away? She was either in yoga, or she was running, getting ready to run, washing her clothes to run, doing something like that. That's what she was doing. That was her happy place. Why are you all sad? They know that I know how the world works for myself. And they know not to engage with people and in thoughts and stuff that aren't their mama. Man, I'm so proud of my girls. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're making it work for themselves. And that's because it's like, in the beginning it was hard. Yeah, be free, be free, be free. I'm not your mom, I'm not your mom, I'm not your mom. Spiritual first. And then over time, over the years, as they started seeing it didn't come from me. The seed was pushed in there and forced in there by me. The watering, everything came through their own children, because their own children start talking like me. Their own children start having these experiences and stuff, which people are calling spiritual, and it's not. These children are just being themselves. Man, shout out to the autistic people. Man, The autistic people are winning. Just get away from those controlling people. They're just mad because they don't have your gift. But anyway, that's another. You can side DM me if you want to know about autism or your autism child or what to do with your autistic child. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They are what's next. You have to figure out what you do with yourself, having a child who can't communicate like you communicate, however they still communicate. You just need to figure out what it is. Come on now. And what that's going to take is you knowing yourself so you can get out of the guilt and the shame and the condemnation, so you can get out of trying to get groups of people on your side and different things like that. Your tribe is going to appear when you're ready for your tribe to appear. And guess what? It's no appearing involved. What's involved is the scales on your eyes that were blocking your tribe are now gone. You're welcome. You're welcome. And now that you can see yourself, now that you can experience yourself, experience your energy, experience everything that's you, man, you got to see yourself clearly and to understand what you're seeing. I mean, I was just thinking about a message that I got what's the 21st of October? Yeah. So I was talking to someone. They happen to be Christian. I changed over from my language to their language so I can get the message. And then I took that message and I started ruminating over it. Do you all know the Medellas? Is it a Medella? You know, the one that has I think it's like 108 beads. Is it a mandala? What is it? No, that's the picture. What are the beaded necklace that the monk uses? Anyway, look it up. So, of those beads, just a place to start, just a suggestion. I don't need it anymore. I don't need anything anymore. Just got myself. I grew to that because I had to get to the point where I trusted myself. Shaky knees and all, bubble guts and all. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to walk in what I know. I'm going to do what's best. I'm going to do what I know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I know. And I know that this may cause me to lose people, places, things, people I love, job, where I can live, how I can live, quality of life, all that. I know that. However, I trust myself. And guess what? Didn't lose none of that. Trusted myself. Every step has been better and better and better. It's just been different. Man, you got to ask yourself these questions. You got to ask, why are you thinking what you think? Why are you doing what you think? Why are you believing what you think? Why? And 10 times out of 10 is because of what someone said. Someone told you. You built a shrine on it. And I'm just offering that when you reach the limit of your shrine, knock that shit down. Loose here, like they used to say in church. Loose here, Satan. Tell everybody to loose here and let you go. Let you go. If you can't be yourself, if you can't take a minute and say, this is what I need to know is true for myself. If you can't do that, okay, it may not be time. It was time for me. It was just that serious for me. It was time for me. It was just that serious for me. And now I'm at the very, 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 very last person that I'm purposely staying with or hanging on or whatever. And this is like, it's like being at the end of your journey, because when you reach the end of your journey, it's like, you know what, those things aren't needed, and those things don't bother me, and those things are okay being true for that person. It's okay. That's why the whole Carlton Pearson thing, I'm like, are you kidding me? So God told me something and I need you to co-sign, and if you don't co-sign, I'm going to give myself pancreatic cancer? Make it make sense. And that's all I've done. I've just, every single thing that a person has said to me, I take it, and just like that, the monk necklace or whatever, I hate that, I can't remember. I'll remember it and post a picture of it on my Instagram or somewhere. Take each one of those 108 beads and 108 your way to asking yourself if, and proving to yourself that what a person says is true. And I don't even have to do that kind of stuff anymore, because who said that the other day? I think it had to be Rod Hayes and the Elder. And that was just like, man, yes. Or was it wasn't Tim Ross. I don't know. Look it up, listen to it. One of those people. But anyway, what was said was, oh yeah, it was Rod Hayes. You come to me and tell me your truth. Prove it. And then they have to prove it. It's nothing for me to give myself cancer about. Nothing. Nothing. If I have just myself in my church that I say that there's no more hell, I'm not going to give myself cancer because no one believes it. I mean, if you think about it, if history is true, which we don't know is true, however, we can use it like a bedtime story. If history is true, do you know the things they said that they did to people who didn't believe the way that they believe? I mean, is that what was happening to Carlton Pearson? You don't like me. Okay. But you're not getting burned at the stake. You don't like me. I can't get a job. No, you can't have a job at this church where you were making all that money. But I just saw where Home Depot gave one of these actors off of the Cosby Show a job to work at Home Depot. Go get you another job, and you can still preach. The other day, my husband and I were out. I was cracking up laughing because I heard this guy, I guess it was his church, and under a tent, and he was doing the street preaching, and his congregation was behind him. His pulpit was in the front, and he was turned towards the traffic, while his congregation sat behind him. He had the full seats too. And I'm just cracking up laughing. I'm like, where are you at when you sit your behind the man preaching to bring in more believers, but he lets the believers he has look at his ass? Where do you have to be that? Somewhere. I'm just saying. I'm just observing. I keep saying that. I'm observing. I'm going to stop saying it soon. I just got to process it out. Observing is not judgment. I'm observing what I see. The only way that I can, through the experiences that I'm having, through the experience I've had in the past, what I'm open to is if I observe something and I speak it out loud or speak it to what I'm observing, and that individual or whatever says, no, this is what was happening. I'm like, okay. Got it. Curious. I just heard a thing off of Steve Harvey's daughter. She's so good on her show, Vault and Power. That girl is good. And anyway, she was like, I was just curious. And I think about that for my little sister, because she gets in trouble for asking questions and it comes off wrong or sounds wrong. It's offensive to people, whatever. And it's like, just curious. And I'm like, I know what my intention is. My intention is not to judge. My intention is I'm observing it, and I call a spade a spade. I was up until, when did I check it out? When I started using the word incongruent and congruent, because I heard Tim Ross use it, and I was like, wow, that sounds way better than, someone's a hypocrite. It's like, and I gotta leave that alone. That's a part of Virgo stuff. And yes, I love enjoying being a Virgo because I enjoy the fun from it. I enjoy seeing the funny things about Virgo. However, like I said, in with Sister Myra and her doing, she's like, she goes the axis, and the 6 axis, and each sign, Virgo is the physical half to the spiritual Pisces. If you want to know what your sign is, the spiritual half or the physical half, then you just have to ask me, DM me, because I don't have that shit memorized. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Sister Myra. However, I have written it down and I don't mind sharing it. However, while I'm out here on my live, I don't have the information. However, so once she started, Virgo to me was the way of accessing myself deeper. And I had to start with something, because it seemed like everything and everybody had something to say about me. And I didn't know which one was true, which one was me, which one was what. I know that I was in full defense mode majority of my life. I'm on defense. And I do the preemptive thing where I'll cuss you out first, loud, so the 10 people around you know not to say shit to me, or they're going to get a piece of this mouth too. So I was in full defensive mode, full of fear. Now, no one who knows me would get that. They would probably say it now, but I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't know. You didn't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I know. And so from that, the Virgo thing helped me dig. It's like, oh, this is what Virgos do. This is what Virgos do. This is what. When I stopped doing the whole Virgo stuff, I had gotten enough information to where I can now dig in myself, on myself, through myself, with myself. I can now listen and hear things and challenge myself, and I can ask those questions. And it was just a tool. Now it's an enjoyable tool. I can make fun of myself. I can laugh, stuff like that. It's like, at the end of the day, I just wanted to know myself. I wanted to know what was going on with me. I wanted to know why I even entertained anything externally. I wanted to know why it bothered me if someone wasn't my friend anymore, or why it bothered me because someone stopped talking to me and I didn't know, or why it bothered me because I was at this job and now I'm not. The job laid me off or whatever, or why, at this church I don't feel comfortable anymore, or in this space I don't feel like. I wanted to know why. And I was tired of looking at and trying to get answers from someone who has no answers. Another person has no answers. They're repeating what they've been socialized to say. Want to do the test? Ask somebody, did they make themselves whatever it is, that race, that sex, that color, that wealth point, that pop, did they do it? Ask them. Ask yourself. And the answer is no. Ask the second question, then why are you that? Why would your God, why would your belief system, why would your truth, why would everything you know allow you to be in this pitiful, poor shape where you're mistreated, where you're downtrodden, where you're this, where you're that, where all whatever kind of things that you can say? Why would what you believe in say that that's okay? I'm telling you, walk out. It's people all over. Well, put out a bottle of cold water and say, you can have this water. Can I just ask you a couple questions? No, don't do it. Don't do it. People are whacked today. They may fight you over the answer they give about themselves. Anyway, take this with you in your time when you have to yourself, and just that's number 2. They will try to justify it. Keep asking questions of them. Dig in, and then ask them the one major question. Right now, today, take one of those examples in the Bible. Oh, take the example of, was it Abraham and Isaac? So, in modern day, take that what he did to Isaac by taking him up on the mountain, and tell me where would he be at right now today with all the phones and everything recording it. He's going to be in jail. And he's going to jail no matter what he says, because that is wrong. So that's what I'm saying. If in real time and you're just a human, and it's wrong for you to take the Abraham, Isaac, and a ram in the bush story and do it in real life for a human, then how much more is it wrong for you to do if you're a God? And why are you serving that God if that God is saying it's okay? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And that's with any story, in any Bible, in any situation. It is wrong for anything that created you to then go say it could do an Abraham, Isaac, ram in the bush situation to you. I'm only saying that because, I'm not going to get kicked off of YouTube. But just ask yourself these questions. Why did God need your child in heaven? For what? For what? Those answers just don't make sense. They don't. And they especially don't make sense if at the expense of yourself going crazy because your child is now in heaven with God and you can't accept it. That's even crazier. That's even crazier. Make it make sense. Who set this shit up? And why did they set it up so you'll be hurt? Why did they set it up so you're in a perpetual circle going round and round and round, like a dog chasing his tail, like elephants in a circle that have each other's tail? They just go round and round and follow each other. It doesn't make sense. You got to step outside of that and ask yourself why. And if you can't ask yourself why because of the relationship you're in, leave the relationship. You can't ask yourself why because the job you're in, leave the job. If you can't ask yourself why because of X, Y, Z, then leave that. Leave everything. You are most important. And if you can't leave something, you got to ask, why is something in the state that you're in the state where you need to understand yourself and take a minute to ask yourself a question? Can't you leave? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Nothing an individual does bothers another individual. What happens is people are having their own experiences just like you're having your experiences, and nothing in them is supposed to understand you, and nothing in you is supposed to understand them. Nothing. They don't go together. You've been socialized to believe that all that stuff goes together and fits together, so you stay swimming in that one little pond. It's just not true. For me, when I start talking to my children as each of them turned 18 years old, I started telling them, like gushing at the mouth, which I shouldn't have. I did. They know the stories now. And what it does is like you lose faith in what you're supposed to have faith in, your mom. If you can lose faith in your mother, who people have faith in their mother more so they have faith in God. If you can lose that and be set free from that emotional, mental, spiritual, financial, physical blackmail space, you're in the void. And now you're forced to question everything. And now that you got to question everything, you got to make up your own truth, your own rules, your own belief, your own everything. You have to make that up. And once you make it up, you have to live by it. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. It's fantastic. Because now all you have is yourself. And now all you could do is build on your truth. It's like going to the grocery store. The grocery store has all different kind of things in it. You can even choose what grocery store to go to. You can even choose not to go to the grocery store and just pick the fruit out the ground, off the tree, whatever. Choice. It's nothing wrong. Now you have choice. Like nothing has happened now that you have choice. It's like, oh, happy day. You have a choice. And that's scary for people for a while, for a minute. Some not. Just think about it. If you're saying that someone created you, then you're probably believing that someone created another person. I don't know you and I don't know your God. So your God didn't create me. That's crazy. I know you and I don't want none of your God. Because of you. Being the representation. It's like, hell no. I may struggle to trust myself, but I'm damn sure not going to trust you. It just doesn't make sense. You're putting your trust and faith in everything else. Uh-oh, I'm ready to run out of time, guys. My thing's going out. 1%. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, you rather trust another person, place, thing, job, this, and that doesn't have the security. It's only there until it's not there. And then what? And all I'm offering is before the then what happens is just trust yourself and see yourself and know yourself. Take the time and dig into yourself until you are your truth. All right, my power in my phone is gone. I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll be back again on another day. Oh, this.